into that car. She didn't sanitize her hands or nothing. She went into the bag, grab out a snack with some grapes, and just start eating. We need to practice the right precautionary measures. Just like when COVID first started out, we had the Lysol sprays, alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, Lysol wipes. Some of y'all is even walking around with gloves on, you know. You need to take the proper precautionary measures and sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. Ladies, when you go out and you carry your handbag, you rest that handbag on the counter where you are, on the table, or on the floor when you're out. When you go home, you spray or you sanitize your bag, or don't take bags at all. Because you take that same bag, you even rest it on your bed where you're going to sleep. The clothes that you have on when you're out of the house, when you come home, take those clothes off. Get rid of the clothes, especially if you sat down at work, you sat down out wherever you were, you're at church, you mixed with people. And you know, at church, for some reason, you still have the huggers. You still have the huggers. Those clothes need to be taken off in the wash and washed. Do not hang them. Don't say, oh, that's my church clothes. I ain't putting this. Look here. Take that thing, put that in the bag. If you're not, or if you're gonna carry that to the dry cleaners, but do not hang it up in the closet with the rest of your clothes, because you might hang it up to your shirt that you're gonna put on the next day. And the virus is lasting very long on all surfaces.
Hold on, I gotta pause you for 1 second. So what you're telling me, my new outfit that I just bought, and I don't want to wash it a couple times, because if I wash it a couple times, then that means it's gonna fade. You telling me I gotta put it to go dry clean or wash immediately?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I had to ask, because you know I had a new outfit.
Yes,
and I didn't want to mess it up.
We in the Western world, sometimes we have on jeans, and look here, that jeans I go wear a couple times before that wash. Not now.
Okay, can I ask a question again? Sorry. What about us women who, you know, we like to sometimes wear our bras more than once, twice. Sometimes we wear our, you know. I'm just saying, y'all don't women out there don't act like y'all ain't know what I talking about. Y'all know we wear our bras more than once. We wear our bra a couple times before that get washed, because we don't want to mess up the hooks. That's our favorite bra. Anastasia, don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you don't know. My point is, these are germs. We are going around people. So you strip down, you wash every day. Child, Anastasia got a whole tray load of bras. Anastasia, I coming by your house. What size is where? I come by you, eh? Okay. But my point is, that's what you're saying. You're telling me strip down.
And for you ladies, like for instance, y'all know I like the long braids. Lately, y'all have seen me with my braids pinned on the top of my head. A lot of persons have been getting COVID because they pick up the virus in their hair. When they're out, their hair is flinging here, flinging there. I watch some people with some long braids and stuff. Every time they walk, it wipes on somebody, or it wipes on the wall, it wipes on the door. When you're kneeling, when you're here, your hair just going all over the place. Put those here in one, pin them up, put them away when you are out. See, I'm telling y'all some stuff. If you don't have to wear a bunch of jewelry, if you wear them and you go, when you come home, you clean those jewelry. These are precautionary measures. Always, see, y'all see how, y'all can't see my whole body, but y'all see my arms are stretched out? When you go out in the food store or wherever you go, at the tip of your finger, that's how far you're supposed to be from someone that you do not know, someone that does not live in your house. If your brother don't live in your house, your brother is not supposed to be up in your face. If your mother don't live in your house, your mother is not supposed to be up in your face. I know it's hard for some of y'all. But right now, because of the COVID numbers, If you and somebody does not live in the same unit, some of y'all, because you're co-workers, man, give me some sugar, give me some cream, let me make some coffee today, or let me make, you know, and we get to that coffee in a little bit. Guys, the same measures we took when COVID first started are the same measures we're supposed to be practicing now. When you get home, leave your shoes at the door. Do not bring your shoes in the house. Your
So
mask.
curious. So
Yes.
you're telling me, but mommy said she coming over because she missed me though. So like, you know how, well, anyway, I was planning on going by mommy's house and sleep up in, like, lay out in her bed, because, you know, mommy's bed is feel like the best bed in the world. So I was just going to jump in the bed. So you're telling me that I can't do that like that no more?
No, not at this time.
So hold on. So what you're trying to tell me is we got to kind of act like we back in 2020?
Yep.
You
And
crazy?
if you want to keep mommy safe, or mommy want to keep.
Hold on, nurse. No, hold on, nurse Sally. Are you trying to explain to me that I have to act like we still in a pandemic?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going back in my corner. I listened.
Yes, these are the things that we are still supposed to be doing. Where if you want to visit a loved one, y'all can go outside, get 2 patio chairs, or, you know, if you ain't got no patio chairs, you know, back in the day, we used to sit on a bucket, get a bucket, sit on a bucket, sit on a crate, sit on a block, and sit arms length apart. If you want to protect each other. Because a lot of us are asymptomatic. And we have noted that persons who are vaccinated, a lot of them are also asymptomatic. You may say asymptomatic, what is that? They have no signs of COVID. That is why arms length apart. Another thing, I was getting to the mask. I am sick and tired of telling people, please, you're not wearing your mask in the proper way. Please, do not go around your mask on your mouth, nose not covered. You're putting yourself at risk and the others around you at risk. Because if somebody speaks or coughs, because see, a lot of masks that are being made now, aerosol can still get through it and out of the mask. And if that person, if you're not this far apart, you have the mask around your mouth, and somebody just, because sometimes people sneeze and it's just didn't have time to put their hands in their sleeve or whatever, or they cough and they say, and you inhale all that through your nose.
Ma'am, excuse me.
Yes.
Yes. So I had C19 and I'm now recovered. So I don't have to do all this stuff, right?
I know many patients who have, I know a few, even nurses, who have gotten COVID, their symptoms were mild, and with the Delta strain, they came back and had to be ventilated. Next question. So if
I
you
just was
before,
asking.
you can get it again. And yes, depending on how your immunity is at the time that you get it the second time, you can get it worse than you
Hold
had
on,
it before.
Urch, nurse. You said the I word. You said depending on my immunity. So what does my immunity have to do with all of this? I healthy. I drink orange juice every day. And guess what? Listen, my mommy teach me how to drink Cersei. I drink Cersei every single day. I drink my Cersei every day. And guess what? I eat piece of aloe. So you telling me my immunity is not up?
I'm going to tell you something right now. And I don't want to embarrass anyone, because guess what? I think about 90% of the persons on this call would raise their hands. As I said, I'm also a colon hydrotherapist. And a lot of persons will say, man, look here, you can afford to come and check in my colon or do whatever you have to do. I am healthy. I use the restroom every day. Okay. let me just drop this hint. Let me just drop this little thing right here. Because Dr. Denise and I were talking on the call earlier. Remember when all the four of us on the call earlier, Dr. Ruth Ann? And I said, if you do not go 20 minutes after you consume a meal, your gut is not healthy. And if your gut is not healthy, you're not healthy. So that means if you eat 3 square meals a day, you're supposed to go to the restroom 3 times a day, 20 minutes after each one of those meals. Now, I don't know if much persons on this line can say that's me. And gut health determines the rest of the body.
Now, you know, this question is going to bring up your analogy. So my immune system is already strong. So do I need the vaccine too? Like, come on, like, I don't need a vaccine or nothing like that, right?
Okay. I am not going to say get the vaccine. I'm not going to say don't get the vaccine because of my license. I have to be quiet there. But I'm going to say this. Some persons got the vaccine and they don't want to wear a mask. Persons who have been vaccinated have gotten COVID, and some of them are carriers of COVID, okay? And I say this to say this. If you have a house, and I said this on our last call, if you want a house and you want to protect your house, would you just depend on the alarm system? Because you have an alarm system now, you're not going to lock the doors. So we have to take more than one measure against COVID now, because COVID Delta is an extremely determined virus, determined to deteriorate your mitochondria and your body, okay? And so I say this to say, yeah.
Okay, before, I know you'd be like, is she gonna come on? So before you go on, I want you to put a plug right there, because you just said this Delta stream is more determined than ever, right? So with that being said, we can put a plug right into what you were saying, and I'm gonna go swing right all the way over. We flying on our jet, Sankey jet, you know, okay? And we flying all the way to Trinidad and Tobago. And as we fly over Trinidad and Tobago, we landed and we're picking up Dr. Denise Pierre and we're bringing her back to the Bahamas for a little trip, eh? So Dr. Denise, can you explain to us, like, you know, this new variant? I mean, the old variant was there. So how this new variant, like, coming back kind of to get us? Like what? How is that even possible?
Wow. Very interesting question. And I love that question. First, to begin with, these variants are just learning your body. Your immune system is picking up when you think that you have crossed over C19 and all those, you know, minor things that we have crossed over. Now you get the Delta variant, then it might be a AA variant, American Airlines, and it might be Cal variant, and so it going. I am telling you, I'm just being funny here. But these are just spreading, and I would say if they are mutations because of the fact where your immune system is at. Because you might get over a common flu, but your immune system remembers the antigens that come into your body. It builds its antibodies against it. But guess what? Every foreign antigen and molecules is designed especially to fit a certain antigen. So it's like a lock and key. So now these variants are mutations that is learning your immune system. So guess what? It may have missed you the first time around. You might be doing certain things that's keeping that immune system up. But then remember, these microorganisms are foreign. So it's continually changing. And what we have to understand, the atmosphere, the magnetic pulse, the frequencies of the earth, it is being drawn to these things that is causing the changing. So it not only, it's really like the body is genetically adapting, you know, but why it's affecting us and becoming so potent in our systems down to the point of killing you is because your immune system, your immunity flow, your liquid immunity, your lymphatic system, where your T cells, B cells, and all your antibody classes that we call the immunoglobulin index. Now I'm going into some words here, but clinically I can simplify them. These chemicals are just the characteristics of these germs, let's be simple, that's coming into our body. So here's what's going to happen, and this might sound scary to you guys. We're going to have this for a very long time. Diseases and all types of the coronavirus has been around with us for the last 20,000 years. So it's resurfacing. It has come aside from the SARS-CoV-2. This is now the continuance of COVID-19, MERS and SARS viruses. So within the next 5 to 15 to 20 years, we're going to have different mutations of these genes and these bacteria and viruses. So what it is, so what researchers are finding out, when it comes to your immune system, we have to diversify. The evolutionary genetic ability to fight disease that we once knew, old school, is now has become the new medicine. And that is why the change and the age of medicine is taking place in the form of, and this is where we will get into later down, in the form of nanotechnology, nanomedicine, and quantum medicine, sorry. So this is where this is all is happening. So your body is changing too. It doesn't recognize old codings anymore. And you know why it doesn't? Because we have been modifying our body since the day we were born by putting junk and rot into our system. We're supposed to be feeding ourselves with raw foods, green foods. The good book says, I have given you every herb of the earth and fruits, for it shall be a healing to the nations. What have we been putting into our microbiome? Microbiome does not recognize dead food or anything with a head on it. It recognizes raw food. Hence the reason our bodies are not adapting, because we are not feeding it the right thing. So our immune system is going out of whack, out of balance. So when these mutants come into our system, it cannot identify. The immune system cannot identify or even build the antibodies against it. So in this case, I would say, as we was having our discussion earlier on, I would say that our body is being, yes, modified, but if your immune system, B cells, we're going to get in this later down, T cells, B cells, your immunoglobulin index cells is going to understand what's happening. And as Dr. Rutan and Nurse Donnelly is going to explain your 3CL proteins and how it works in a system in fighting these these bacteria or viruses. Some people don't even know the difference between a virus and a bacteria. Everything is virus, everything, but a bacteria has to work and it mutates. When I mean mutates, it gets variants. It feeds on the organism. We are symbiotically working with these diseases. So if the immunity flow is healthy, guess what? You can fight through anything. The antibodies is going to do. But what have we been doing with it? That's another story for later down, as we would have to talk, we interact again. Back over to you, Dr. Ruthan.
Thank you so much, Dr. Denise. So, Guru, you can't be left off, Charlie's Angels. So I need to ask you, sir. She just made a comment about the microbiome. She said a microbiome can't eat dead food. I need to hear from you. What say you, sir? Well, like why? I mean, so from what I understand by dead food, you telling me that little oxtail thing can do? No oxtail.
You're right. Microbes feed on a different diet than what our human cells live on. The mistake we have made over the years is to think that we are mostly human cells. But if modern medical science is to be believed, we have it the other way around. We are only 10% human cells and 90% microbial cells. Why the humans tend to dominate our structure is that human cells are approximately 1,000 times larger than, say, the microbial cells. So because we believe that we are the dominant one, we think that we are in control, we live and eat mostly to satisfy ourselves. So we satisfy our taste buds, but only to realize that food today is mostly refined, acidic, and processed. That makes it toxic and poisonous and nutrient lacking to our microbes. Can you imagine? Most of the food you're eating is poisonous to most of you. Now, we did not understand this. We thought that microbes was the lesser guys that live inside of us. So there are bad bacteria and good bacteria. You know, it's interesting. Dr. Edeas has a little slant on talking about good bacteria and bad bacteria, because his way of looking at it is strong bacteria and weak bacteria. You realize how they look at it? So because we think that the bacteria are bad, what do we try to do with bad guys? We try to get rid of them, lock them up, poison them off, and kill them off. But maybe our narrative is being wrong from the beginning. Maybe our mainstream medical system has it wrong to look at bad, because we don't understand them. We call them bad and good. Dr. Edeas, he said, they are not to be considered good or bad, weak and strong. And he made a point. The E. coli bacteria, that is known to be one of the most deadly killers of mankind. He says that in the centenarians out of Okinawa, Japan, one of the most prominent and dominant bacteria is the E. coli. It's a strong bacteria. We need it to break down some of the powerful nutrients so that the other subspecies can get it, digest it, break it down, ferment it, because bacteria live off each other. So the keystone bacteria break down the nutrients and hand it down to the other nutrients, to the other microbes, to break it down so every brother, every sister, every niece, every nephew, even the puss and dog are fed, so to speak. So our understanding of microbes is wrong from the offset. And if you start wrong, you're going to end up wrong. So we are trying to kill off bacteria, only to realize that bacteria is most of who we are. So we're trying to kill ourselves. So when doctor give you an antibiotic, that's dangerous. And here's the sad thing. 70% of the antibiotics are used in the animal industry. The cattle, the pigs, the chicken. And when we consume it, what's going to happen? We are consuming these antibiotics. So even if we don't go to the doctor and get a direct antibiotic, we are getting it still. And then guess what? They are spraying glyphosate on much of the food that we are eating. And glyphosate is what? An antibiotic. Look at that. And the main reason why glyphosate is bad for humans is because it damages and destroys the shikimate pathway in the microbes and kill them. So, Dr. Luther, the food is wrong. And I heard someone says, if diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. If diet is right, medicine won't be needed. We have to fix our diet. We are digging our grave with our own teeth. We are swimming in shark-infested waters. And we're sweeting on the goat, we're going to run in belly. We need to understand who we are, that we need to eat for who we are. We are mostly microbes, and we're a super organism, not a human being mostly.
And one of the things that I heard him say, King Clive, which like stuck at me like, oof, Well, and I don't remember the queen of the bacteria. Alamansa? No. What's the queen of the bacteria?
Or you call some names there.
Man, if he
Yeah,
calls
like
some names, Lord.
Precautionary Measures.
Listen. And he said that person with, and this is the queen. You need this in your body. This is what you need.
Yeah.
But people with diabetes don't have it.
Mm-mm.
I was like, what? Diabetics don't have this bacteria in their body. I was like, and hold on, guys. And now, if that ain't get you, he then went on to say how this queen of bacteria, I can't call the name like that. Like I can be like a Queen Bev tonight. I can't call the name. I gotta see it. I gotta tap it out. Because I can't say it.
Yeah.
He said they hate carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how the bacteria know it don't like carbohydrates.
Yeah. See, there are different types of bacteria. You can have anywhere from 500 to 1,000 species inside of your gut. And all of them don't feed on the same thing. That is why the scientists and the doctors and the food scientists are saying species, so variety and diversity is the name of the game. You have to eat the rainbow colors. If you finish preparing your meal and it is dark, if it is brown, gray, or white, look at that meal in a like a decay way. It's may not be proper for your microbiome. Anytime you prepare your meal and it is white, gray, or brown, you might want to be careful or you eat that, because the new narrative is eat the rainbow colors. You want to eat fruits and vegetables, grains, seeds, nuts, lentils. These are fiber, resistant starches, prebiotics for the bacteria. When they get that, they're going to feed in frenzy. They digest those and make your short-chain fatty acids, butyrate, acetate, and propionate. What heals the human body shall not be made by the human body. It is made by microbes. Butyrate is made from fiber. You can't make butyrate from things you buy in the supermarket in bags, bottles, and tins, and things of that nature. That food is what? Dead food. You said it earlier, Dr. Utan. You have to give them live food. Then they convert it into your medicine. They convert it into your nutrients, your vitamin K, your B vitamins, and all the things that you need in order to survive. You have to give them live food. So you may not like to eat vegetable. It's not about what you like. You have to eat for the type. You have to eat for your type. You're not a human.
Hold on. Pause right there. Because see, that right there, that's a tricky thing right there that you're talking about. Because I always hear people say, man, I can't eat that because it tastes bad. Or I love that because it tastes really good. See, now you telling me I have to eat for something inside me. I don't even know what they like. I don't even know what the taste buds taste like, but I got to eat for them. You tell me I can't worry about me no more?
Not at all.
No, man, King Clive, man. King Clive, no, King Clive, no.
You would be selfish if you only eat for 10% of who you are. What about the 90%? You see, if those guys are cross, angry, and miserable, you can't be happy. You have to feed to make them happy. And that is why I tell you that Asaki and Belage are such a champion product, because they have metabolites. Metabolites are what feed microbes. Metabolites are what feed human cells. Metabolites are what feed the mitochondria and the microbiome inside of your body. That is why this company is 40 or 50 years ahead of the rest of the pack. They don't get this narrative as yet. That is why our food is poisoning us, because we're not eating correctly. Eat for your type. You are not a human being. You're a super organism made out of human cells, bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, archaea, and even parasites. You have to eat for all type until the philosophy that owes one race superior, the human cells, and another inferior, the microbes, are totally abandoned. Everywhere is war. war in terms of diabetes. Yes, Dr. Donnelly.
I have to interject right here, right? Because see what the information that is being thrown down tonight, what you just gave, persons on this line would have to pay a nutritionist no less than $500 to actually hear and to be counseled with what you're saying right now. So I hope persons are taking notes and are writing this down. And you distributors, if you're on this line and you don't have any guests on this line, get guests on this line, because guess what? We need to be changing lives. What do we want to hear again? Oh, Mary dead. Oh, Jane dead. Oh, Tom dead. Oh, Harry dead. Because we were so selfish that we got on the line all by ourselves and just listened to the information and kept it to ourselves. I know when we were in Sunday school, there was a song that says, love is something that you give it away. And so right now you better give that love away. Send that video that you received with Dr. Denise saying what we're gonna be doing tonight. Send that link out, send it out. Persons, get your loved one, get family, get granny, get baby, get everybody on the line, even Spot in the back of the doghouse. Get Spot, bring Spot inside, and let Spot watch this tonight. Because what King Clive, look here. People don't know how important gut health is.
That's true.
And we did a study by my lecturer who taught me colon hydrotherapy, my trainer. One thing she taught me, she said, due to persons not being able to pass, see, if the type of diet that you eat, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I'm right because I got the training, but depending on what type of eating or what type of foods you eat, also depends on how many times you go in the restroom, right or wrong. It also depends on how many toxins are released from the body when you go to the restroom. If you keep on eating the way you do, you're killing yourself and you are breaking down your immune system. Because when you don't go to the restroom on time, that toxin is going into your body and making your body diseased. And so, you know, we were talking earlier, and one thing I've noticed as a nurse with this Delta strain, King Clive, was that if I already have a gut issue and I get COVID makes it worse.
Yeah.
If I have a back issue and I get COVID makes it worse. If I have diabetes and I get COVID. Dr. Denise, did you just chime in right there? I know you, I even saw you unmute your mic when I talk about diabetes and COVID. You was like, oh, let me at it.
Can I say this before Dr. George chimes in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
A lot of us can still remember chikungunya. You remember what chikungunya did to many people?
Yeah.
It made a chronic disease worse.
That's right.
And do you know that's still on the shelf?
Look at that.
People still buy it at the store.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So they want the pot to taste sweet. You know, back in the day, they used to say, well, sweet them out.
Bitter to
Bitter
the belly.
And guys, we gotta watch what we're eating, man. We gotta watch what you're eating. And like, for instance, you know, I'm just gonna drop this here before Dr. Joy comes to talk about hypertension and diabetes and COVID and what COVID does, even if you don't have diabetes. But if you have family members who have in your genes, what COVID does, my God. And guys, just listen in. Dr. Roseanne, you had something to say before?
No, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting because I listen, y'all don't understand. Like we never truly really prepare for calls like this. Like we get on the call and we talk. And when we have our conversation and we are enlightened by our conversation. Like, we just get excited. We be on a call for an hour and a half, all four of us, just talking about different subjects, about the microbiome, about what's going on in the health, and on all this different stuff, about Ballage, people, different testimonies. And then we suddenly go, you know what, we got to share this with everybody. Everybody needs to know this. We can't just leave this to ourselves. We can't just sit on this phone and just take all this information in and just be like, oh my God, nobody else needs to know. That's how we be. And so literally right after that, we were like, we got to do a flyer. We got to get people on this call. They need to hear this. They have to hear this information. So Dr. Denise, tell her.
Dr. Denise, before, sorry. Unmute.
Go ahead.
Dr. Roseanne, she can't hear me. Unmute, you muted.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Just explain this for us. I know the answer to it, but for those listening, with my children's father, his mother's a diabetic, his brother's a diabetic. He was not known as a diabetic, but he got COVID. And when he got COVID, the first thing they noticed when they admitted him to the accident emergency is that his blood sugar was out of whack. And he was never diagnosed as being someone with diabetes. But in COVID, he was diagnosed with diabetes and hypertension, never had it before. And they put him on medication, but now they're monitoring him to just wean him off of meds. Could you tell us, please? Because I asked him, please get on the Sankey products. He didn't listen. So could you tell us what happened there, please?
Wow, it's a combination. Master Clive spoke about the gut and the microbiome, and everything starts from the gut. Metabolizing starts from the gut. And why, when we get, I have to bring back what happened in 2020 in Trinidad and Tobago. Most of our deaths came out of not COVID, but, they associated with COVID. And this is the reason why. The number one death in Trinidad and Tobago was diabetic persons died from diabetes. The reason for such is that, remember, in dysbiosis alters your functions of your innate and adaptive intestinal immunity. That is what happened. And Dr. Edias said this so, he explained this so clearly when it comes to the immunity, because 70% of the immune system is housed in the gut. You were just talking about it, Nurse Donnelly, about what the gut, you are once certified in doing these gut, cleanses and so forth. And when this dysbiosis alters the function of the innate and adaptive intestinal immunity. So here's what is the innate system? Your innate system is really the cells that rely or require training to do their job. So now this is something new that comes in. Your white blood cells, we hear white blood cells, red blood cells. White blood cells contains of certain types called neutrophils, monocytes, natural killer cells. I call them the nuke cells, your sentinels in your body. And what that does, it sets off proteins to help fight against an infection. Now, Ms. Donnelly, I know you're going to talk about this later down with the protein 3CL proteins and all of that. Why proteins can also destroy your body as well as, recover the body from degeneration. So here's what infants have: this innate immune system because they get that from the mommy's milk as they're growing up. And the adaptive is what we have to look at, because that is what comprises of your T cells, your B cells, and those are your cells that require training. So here's what happened. When your hubby, we're going to get into that, your children's daddy, what happened to him, the memory of what went on with the C19 or the virus or the bacteria or whatever we want to call it, right? What entered into there raised his innate system. So his system, the T cells, B cells, was not able to recognize this, how would I call it? This agent that comes into my body, this invader that comes into my foreign invader. So it started to attack. And why it attacks is because what is glucose? Glucose is your high energy factor in the body. And as far as insulin is recommended in the system, this insulin, become resistant in the body when this certain type of virus hits. Now, a lot of people are still studying this thing, but this thing is so simple. It's just affecting your metabolic system. So if you have high blood pressure, diabetes run very close to high blood pressure, and then kidney failure. That's a catalyst effect. One after the other, it starts to happen and degenerate the organs in the body. So if we didn't know that the endocrine model, which is the endocrine system that regulates these hormonal balancing and metabolizing, especially, what tends to happen, the body became insulin resistant, causing the body to rise, the sugar, the sweetness to rise, the glucose in the bloodstream. Now, everything is working in the bloodstream. That is where all the attacks, the fights, everything takes place. Now, God forbid, if you have a comorbidity that you didn't even know you had, it's going to dig it out. So you will realize it. And that's what happened in the case of the gentleman, where when he got the symptoms, or he contracted it, the test showed that he was diabetic, which he didn't even know. So what happens there? Remember, the body needs energy, ATP, right? Adenosine triphosphate in these cells to operate the energy, which we have to go back to, we were talking about earlier, the mitochondria in the cell. And that is what happens. So when that has dropped, when it attacked the mitochondria, all fall down, because his glucose would have given rise to energy releasing in the cells through oxygenation and all of that. So when that factor happened in his system, the glucose in his blood went sky high. And that is what is called inflammatory response. So his immune system now actually had that inflammatory response. So what tends to happen when that happens, you get a dysregulation with the immune system. So it will dysregulate before it becomes weak, and then we will have all these other problems happening in the body. So the dysregulation simply means what happened, his body now, his immune system could not identify or differentiate which was a sentinel and which was a degeneration in his system. So it developed the cytokine storm. And we know what is cytokine storm. When the immune system, his white blood cells started to build antibodies against it, the glucose, the proteins started to build, and it caused an overactive building in antibodies, and it started to destroy his system. So thank God that you knew what to do. So that, in short, is what happened to the body. So it sent the inflammation high, which is tied to your insulin resistance. And that was what ended up happening. He became insulin resistant at that point. So what was going on in his body, it just brought about the inflammatory state within the system. And hence the reason why most people who have this type of comorbidity, heart issues, cardiovascular issues, diabetic issues, and kidney issues. That is what, sorry about that. I didn't put my phone. Yeah, that is what happened, and it caused that dysregulation, because the body naturally will shut down when the energy is not going there. That's why you end up being fatigued, tired, can't breathe properly, and all these kinds of things when you get the symptoms, and when even if it's over in the body. That is what happened. Mitochondrial damage. That is what happened in his system.
So, Dr. Denise, question here, okay? Because
yes.
With nurses, we love, we love preventative measures.
Yes.
So you're trying to say that most of us on this line, and see, from the Caribbean, diabetes and hypertension is leading the way. It's
Yes.
leading the way with non-communicable diseases. So what should be done is that most of us on this line, because of COVID, really, and because we know, hey, somewhere down our bloodline, somebody had diabetes or somebody had hypertension, it is best for us to go and do a physical, or at least check our glucose levels and our blood pressure.
That's correct, ma'am. We need to, because when you're looking at that, you have to look at your triglycerides level, insulin levels, high blood pressure levels, as you said just now. All these factors we have to consider, because it may not be, metabolic. You may not be metabolically fit, but you need to know, because remember, folks, this what is hitting our system. It's respiratory. And if it's respiratory, remember the lungs, that first entry, as you were saying, Nurse Donnelly, when that enters, the lungs is the only organ in your body that cannot be rejuvenated. It cannot be reverse, recover, restore if these microbiome is already damaged. So what we need to do is up that immunity flow. If we can get the mitochondrial healthy once more, you stand a fighting chance. If it's already 90% degenerated, especially in the lungs, you cannot have a rejuvenation. It takes divine intervention and a whole heap of our green liquid to get that body back in order. And it can happen. It has happened. We have seen it happen.
Wow,
so
wow,
what we
wow,
are
wow,
saying,
wow.
yes, because it degenerates, it becomes like cardboard. That's why you can't breathe. That's what happens. So your alveoli and your lungs get seized, it get hard, it get like a hard piece of
Stop,
cardboard.
Dr. Denise, stop.
Yes. Yes.
Your lungs become like cardboard?
Yes, it becomes hard, porous. You give it a cough and it breaks up in pieces. That's what happens. That's the only organ in your body that cannot be regenerated. If we don't keep those alveoli, those mitochondrials, those stem cells active, folks, it is serious. That's why you can't breathe. Persons who have allergies, asthmatic, connections and so forth that goes through the system. That's why we have to be very, very careful with those.
Okay, Dr. Denise, King Clive, Dr. Ruth Ann, I know this is going to be a series of calls because so many persons around us are just losing their lives. This is something that we chose to do. So, we don't want the calls to be too long, but boy, this is serious. So let's just go in because we're going to be talking about this just about every night, Dr. Ruth Ann.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Okay.
Now, let's just go more into the preventative measures. All right. We have, so I'm just going to call a few things off with the balage itself. All right. Let me just talk about that and then we'll get into a regime. How about that? With the balage, okay, the balage is the flagship product of this. And so before I go in talking about the 3CL, I want Dr. Ruth Ann to actually, because she spits it out about the balage. Ruth Ann, Dr. Ruth Ann, could you just talk about your baby first?
Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to find the slides so I can bring it up. People like to see stuff. So give me 1 second, and then you got to find your mouse and okay, so trust me, it's like complicated, But guys, listen and hear me good. This balage, we're at Orzoid enzyme 5. This says 3. We started at 3, but we are now at 5, and it's capable of acting on the inside of the cells. This is what you've been hearing from the beginning of this call. This is dealing with cellular nutrition. We're not dealing with topical, and this is not just any old run-of-the-mill supplement. When this goes in, this is nanotechnology. This literally is so minuscule. It's able to bypass, and it's coded. So this is patented formulas that we have, and it's coded that it's able to literally bypass the gastric acid so that the chloride. I can't remember the acid that's in the stomach right now off the top of my head. Sorry about that. But it bypasses that. And then it's able to permeate and pass through the walls of the cells and get immediately into the bloodstream and start doing what it's supposed to do. And in this function, it deals with the mitochondria. This is where we can literally state emphatically, this ain't no play run of the mill. We can emphatically say by 40%, we can build your immune system with this product. Hopefully we can get the slides that Dr. Nadia showed us the other day. If you see the bacteria that is in this melange, because you will see that it's perfected with purified extracts of rosemary and olive. You know what Dr. Nadia said the other day? When they were testing. Now remember now, this has been going on before they brought out these 4 products. It was in the lab for 40 years. And what he said, during those years, what they found is that they could not find the purified formulation of the raw ingredients that they wanted. So guess what they went and did? They went and created their own farms with olive trees, rosemary, green tea, black beans, everything that they needed to go and source into our products from seed to cell. They made sure to do that so that they could control the environment of everything, the soil, what was happening, to the point where they literally said, you know what, we really need nutrients from these olive trees. So that means they need some old trees, eh? They've spent in excess of a couple $1 million in olive trees. Some of the trees are over 2,000 plus years old. You know, they've coined the phrase Jesus juice because literally the trees are older than Jesus. But they put these main trees in the vineyards and in the fields. Why? So that the nutrients out of the roots can now go into the rest of the trees that they're putting in, the new plants. So when I think of that, I am blown away. And then of course, what was the first thing that was given? What did the dove bring when after Noah? What was in the dove's mouth? I wonder, was it an orange tree branch? No, it was an olive leaf. And would you believe you can't just go and get some olives and say, oh, let me go and, eat more olives and some more rosemary. Let me go make some more spaghetti sauce. No, guys, listen, it's the bacteria off of these things, the bacteria. And then they used a cold press formulation to get the oils and extract it. Because what they went out to do was literally reproduce the gut of a centenarian on the outside. Because like Mr. Dr. Charles Clive, you're going to be a doctor soon, okay? Like Clive Campbell said, microbiome deals in bacteria. That's what it feeds off of. So they literally started getting the bacteria off of this and utilizing it. And would you believe they cycled it every 27 days, just like a woman's cycle, because the microbiome comes from a woman. When I tell you this company here, go deep. It ain't just surface. Oh, let's just sell a juice. It ain't surface, baby. This goes deep. Everything, every thought has a reason behind it. Everything they do is specific. So when you see 100% natural, it's 100% natural, 100% plant-based. It strengthens the immune system. I told you, 39.4% if you want me to be specific. I rounded up to, 39.4. I actually supposed to round it down, hey, because it's under the 5. So 39%. Okay, guys, okay. Anyway, 40 sounds better. Let's round it up to the nearest 10. 40%, okay? It increases energy production. It reactivates natural antioxidants in the body. It improves hydration at the cellular level. The first thing, most of the time you notice, especially if you're one that does not drink a lot of water, the moment that you drink a Balage, you're thirsty. You're like, oh, I'm just a little bit thirsty. I need some water. The cells need water. Your cells, your actual cells which make up over 60% of your body weight, needs water. You don't have enough in it because the belage hydrates you at a cellular level. And I'm not sure if tonight is the call that we're even going to talk about water, the water we're drinking. I'm not sure if that's the call because, we're going a little long for y'all tonight. But it also decreases fats and sugars, improving blood circulation. This blood circulation is so important in so many instances. And, we could talk about that too. How many instances that blood circulation is important? But that's another call that we have for another day. But you remember when they were talking about, C19 causes this and that and this and that. Blood circulation, hydration, mitochondria, cells. Back to you, Nurse Natalie.
Dr. Ruth Ann, I love how you mentioned hydration, because in hospitals, when you go in and you're diagnosed with COVID, the first thing they try and do is put up some lactated ringers on you. And I'm gonna let Dr. Denise come back on in just a few seconds and actually talk about the inner 7 and how the inner 7 actually compares to the lactated ringers that they put up on you when you enter the ER. Okay, now water, I love the fact that you mentioned water. Guys, stay hydrated in this season. If you get COVID, stay hydrated. That's number 1. Stay hydrated. And the regular water is not going to do you good when you have COVID. You need alkaline water. What alkaline water does is the molecules are tiny enough, just like the nanoparticles that we're using here at Sankey Global. So because those water particles are so tiny, they're able to get into the cell and hydrate the cell more readily. So don't be drinking any kind of water, especially if you are diagnosed or you have COVID symptoms, or even now, try and get alkaline water, please, because the molecules are smaller. And then another thing, guys, please, I see it here in the Bahamas. We have a beautiful company called Blue. That's Blue, right, Dr. Ruth Ann? Blue. And I'm drinking a bottle of it right now.
You know how the people are saying, hold on, we ain't there, pay for advertising.
Anyway, no, no, but I'm just saying, I hate when I go in the store and I see alkaline water in the refrigerator. When you put alkaline water in the refrigerator, the temperature changes, so the water is not alkaline anymore. Oh Lord, I'm blowing your heads off tonight. And some people are like, whoa, that's alkaline water. I'm gonna get my alkaline water and go in the deep freeze, and I want to freeze in the straw and just pull it out. What are you buying? You're paying all that money and the water is no longer alkaline. And cold water is the worst water to ever drink. Drink your water room temperature, guys. Get used to it, especially now. So I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Denise right now, because Dr. Denise, when you go into the ER and you have COVID, if they get to you or when they get to you, the first thing they do is try and hydrate you. And they try and hydrate you with the fluid called lactatose ringers. Could you actually tell us about lactatose ringers and also tell us about the inner 7 and the comparison? Because we have the inner 7 here at Sankey Global, please.
Yes, my dear. The hydration process, it simply means it's putting the minerals in your colon, to just break it down layman terms, so that you can have the absorbency, the nutrients for the colon, so that you can do what you have to do. And while it's cleaning out, it's reabsorbing back the minerals in your body. Because when you do this sort of clean out, it cleans out your entire colon. Your system goes good, bad bacteria, everything comes out. And that is why they have to put or inject or to hydrate it back. And what better hydration for our cells? Because folks, I analyze blood cells every day. And you can see your plasma cells are where the mature cells, actually your fighting cells, your white blood cells are produced, that actually produce the antibodies in your plasma cells, in your stream. Your gut is full of these vessels, all right? So if your gut is unhealthy, believe me, your entire body is unhealthy. If you're sick, check your gut. If you have a headache, check your gut. If you have a stomach pain, look to your gut. If you have a bubble foot, check your gut. Because all of these things, the gut is loaded with these tissues and the bloodstream, the respiratory secretions, intestinal secretions, even your tears are connected with the gut. So folks, Inner 7, 100% natural. You ain't hear nothing about synthetic, you ain't hear nothing about preservatives, you ain't nothing about additives in the Inner 7. Over 60 plus minerals. It ain't have enough box to write the amount of minerals on it. That's why you would have the major ones: potassium, magnesium, sodium, zinc, selenium. And you know what minerals does? It hydrates the blood cells. It hydrates the entire system, because without minerals, your body cannot fight anything. It cannot heal itself. It cannot repair itself. Connective tissues are damaged. It cannot even activate the stem cells activity in your body for wellness. More so if it's hit with an autoimmune condition, especially the C's, and that is what tends to happen. So it means that all fall down. So what do you say? The first thing, improves natural defense mechanism. Your magnesium is the fourth most abundant mineral in the body. It is found 66% in the bones, 33% in the skeletal and cardiovascular muscles. But let me tell you something. You see minerals, without them, you cannot repair yourself. Without them, you cannot digest. Without them, you cannot metabolize. That is why a lot of people have a lot of issues, female issues, PCOS, endometriosis, fibroids, all these kinds of problems, infertility as well, because your body doesn't have this fighting chance, which is minerals, to get it where it needs to be. It contributes to proper pH balance. Yes, folks, when your body is acidic, especially your blood terrain, it draws from your teeth, your nails, your hair. What tends to happen? It has to keep the body alive. So you will find you get brittle nails because the calcium is depleted, then you become porous, then you osteochondrosis and all of these things. And here's what happened. It don't reabsorb back into the bones. So then you have, it's not even going to show up now, but if we run the blood on you and the scan, it will tell you within the next 20 or 30 years, if you don't deal with this now, you're going to be osteo. Or as somebody said the other day that was recently diagnosed today, I saw someone, psoriasis, spondyloarthrosis, and arthritis, right? What that is, a degeneration of their ligaments, also associated with arthritic condition, close to becoming rheumatoid, which is an autoimmune disease. Folks, you do not know what we are doing with our bodies, you know. As Master Clive said, we are digging our graves with our teeth, dying slowly. That is what we are doing. The selenium effect on vitamin C protects microcirculation, DVT, varices of veins, thrombosis of veins, cardiovascular issues. You know, your veins and arteries get worn out. Like, you know, when you have elasticity and you put it out over your pants or your panty and it gets stretched out and falling down, that is what happens with your veins and arteries if it do not have calcium. It's not only good for teeth and bones, but it's also good for strengthening your arterial vessels, oxygenating the blood, building red blood cells in the bone marrow. That is what calcium is important for. So if we don't have it, we end up having these valves, these little vessels, you know, not locking back when blood flow goes out. That's why you get all these dark veins and spider veins, we call them, but it's varices of veins, that you're not getting the amount of flow, micro circulation. You might be getting macro, but you're not getting micro. And those are the ones that builds and goes around the heart, rear and front of the heart, that gives it the electric pump and charge when you do an ECG. That is what these minerals are important for, to keep those vessels pumping and beating at the heart. So it activates the beat so you can flow blood through. Potassium regulates that heart muscle. So you might find, oh my gosh, I'm getting some anxiety, palpitations, I can't breathe, I feel like something, like I get in a heart attack. Definitely when it's a heart attack. And as a medical practitioner, when you do get it, please call the ambulance and don't go to a herbsman, because you may need, you might be going into cardiac arrest, and you will know when you get in that. But sometimes the thyroids, parathyroids go a little bit out of balance, and these minerals drop low. So we have these sort of issues happening. It's also good for kidney health, zinc for men, prostate health, enlarged bladder issues, cystitis, right? Many people didn't even know they had kidney stones when they start using the inner 7. Wow, it started breaking down that uric acid, and those stones start coming out like if they had a quarry inside of them. So we need to understand what we have in our hands so that we can prevent, because cystitis is really caused by the E. coli bacteria. You hear Master Clive talk about all these bacteria. So folks, in ending of this, I could go on and on with the minerals. Intestinal transit improves absorbency. You hear in every product, makes you drink water. You know why? Because that filters your lymphatic system so the toxins can come out. You might be doing a heap of good, eating a heap of good in your body, but if you're not drinking water, it's not cleansing it. So you will get stagnated, and you will start to develop all these things that you're trying to prevent. Like some persons say, when they started to be on the formulations, the blood pressure went sky high, the glucose level went sky high. Why? Dr. Rutan was talking about it earlier on. These chronic conditions and lipids caramelized in the blood vessels. So when oxygenation starts to happen, you vasodilate, so you get more pressure going through. With the constriction, no, you was getting a little troop. You always talk about the Mustang, you wasn't getting the vroom, vroom, vroom. And that is what the body is experiencing. So underneath it all, these viruses cannot stay in that alkaline environment. They're only one objective by good people is to just hijack your molecular machinery. And what it hijacking, if the machinery is running smooth, you can have the viral invasion in your body. It will involve attaching and interacting with the specific proteins that could cause the degeneration. But guess what? It's not going to affect the vital performance of the body. All it needs to do is just live harmoniously with you. But this is another topic we need to talk another time. Back over to you, Dr. Ruthan.
Listen, I'm always blown away by just that information. And guys, like I told her today, I just need to keep repeating that so I can hear that. That's one of the things you just want to keep hearing to understand. Because to me, I want to be able to regurgitate what was just said. I want to be able to just spit that out and say it. But we want to now talk about, before we talk about how important rest is in all of this, we're going to talk about King of Kings. Now, we're going to bring up the illustrious guru to share this with you. But you need to understand that this Hasaki is made out of cacao. And cacao was fed to the Mayan gods. So this is food for the gods, as they would say in the Mayan times. But I'm not going to steal his thunder because he says it best. I can't say it the way he talks about this Hasaki. This Hasaki, women, just get your fine a little bit, because, if he goes into this the way he's going to this, usually you're going to be wondering what he's talking about by the time he finishes. So, the poet of health, King Clive, are you out there?
I am here, live and direct. You hear me okay?
I hear you okay. Take it away.
Good, thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have before us King Hasaki. This product is powerful and this product is useful because of what it does. Now, one paper that came out March 2020, it says that because of gut dysbiosis, we are susceptible to infectious agents like the virus because we are so unhealthy. I found that to be quite startling. We are susceptible to infectious agents like the virus because we are so unhealthy. Unhealthy, why? Because of gut dysbiosis, gut imbalance, if somebody may want to clarify. Our gut is out of balance. What does this product does, Asaki with Bovia? It's a revolutionary formula that contains 596 different metabolites from cacao, and it balances the intestinal flora. Now, we are sick because of gut imbalance. What does this product do? It balances the intestinal flora in the gut and generate new nutrients. Now, many people can look healthy on the outside, but they are sick on the inside because their gut is out of balance. Don't plan to cause anybody to be offended, but people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, we think we are healthy, but we are sick. And that is why so many persons who we think are okay, age is no longer a guarantee of health. You have to ensure that your gut is fit, healthy, happy, up and running, all the bacteria plug in, none of them not plug out, all of them turn on, none of them not turn off, all of them up, just like 7. So the study is saying that we are unhealthy because our gut is out of balance. That is dysbiosis. It might be a fancy word, but it means balance. Is your gut balanced? If you have ever taken antibiotics, it could be 10 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, that antibiotic shot that you got can still affect you 10 years later. For some persons, the injections, the vaccinations that they got when they were children going to school, it caused them to die in their 50s and 60s. Do you understand what I'm saying? It caused us to leave 30 and 40 years on the table because it is creating this biases in the gut, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not take this lightly. That is why we believe this product, Asaki, may be one of the most important products on the planet. The dysbiosis we're talking about is low diversity in the microbiome, low levels of certain keystone strains of bacteria, like Feculum bacterium prochnexi. That bacteria is one of the boss, and many people don't have it. Do you know when they consume the Sankey Global products? Dr. Edeas put up a slide the other day that says, in 4 weeks, for example, the Belage helps to increase the Feculum bacterial prochnexi by 23.4% in 4 weeks. Can you imagine you're on this for 4 months or 4 years? Your bacteria in your gut healthy again. Your microbiome is healthy again, fit and up and running, and you will be on track like the Okinawa ones to go to 100 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, so you want to have keystone strains like Bacterium longum, Lactobacillus acidophilus, Planterium, Feculum bacterium prochnexi, and Akkermansia mucinifolia, because these products increase the amount of these bacteria in your body. You see what it says? It balances intestinal flora and generates new nutrients by nourishing the microbiota. If you provide food for them, they will show up, they will get strong and healthy and push the bad bacteria out of the way, or the weak bacteria out of the way, and begin to dominate your gut. I want you to see the science behind it tonight. So I'm coming to you from this angle. You have to fix the gut and you have to attract these keystone strains because this bacteria, feculum and bacterium pragnixi, this bacteria is a superhero bug living inside of you that combats all kind of inflammatory damages and lining to your gut. It also maintains the rest of the microbiome. Do you understand what it means to increase this bacteria by 23.4%? So what it does, it increases the role of the other bacteria and protect them and inhibits the formation of diseases within you. I wonder if you hear me tonight. So it plays a key role in repairing the gut, such as leaky gut disease, and prevent 95% of the disease that affects mankind. So leaky gut is the foundation of disease in the body. So if you have a higher diversity of this bacteria, it is enough to change the world inside of you. It changes your microbiome, and you change your microbiome, you change your health status. Am I making sense to that? I'm trying for you to get it. If you change your microbiome, you change your health status. It can happen in as little as 4 weeks on these products, and you want to be on it. Because some people just want to take one round of these products for 1 month and gone. No, you need to repair it, and if you're going to repair it, give for at least 90 days, and then you maintain on all these 4 products. Because some of us, we don't stay good inside. We look good on the outside, but inside not so good. Oh Lord, let me try and behave myself. It improves protein absorption. It increases oxidation of fat. It sustains proper weight management, including because of Akkermansia mucinifolia. That bacteria is what maintains your weight. It is not you going to gym. It is not you jogging around the track. It is not you doing all kind of gymnastics. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have certain keystone strains of bacteria, you could have run until you get blue. The weight management you're looking for is unlikely to happen until you have these keystone bacteria. And what these products do, they increase these microbes inside of your body and make you healthy. I take it from this angle tonight, Dr. Ruthann. I hand it over back to you.
Well, you know, I just sitting here and all, like, trust me, if I could have write as fast as all y'all out there, my book would have been full. So me, I just have to take recordings and listen to them, you know, because, you know, my hands don't work the way they used to. But, you know, guys, this is simply amazing, amazing. And Nurse Donnelly, I know you're about to share your baby. You're about to share your baby and talk about this. And then after that, I want the conversation to start about how can we assist with the mitochondria? I know we've already shared it, but just to do a slight recap, because now we got over 140 plus people on the call, and we had already kind of spoken about certain things in the beginning of the call. But, you know, I just want to make sure that everybody gets it before they leave. So I want you to share about your baby, which is Cronwe or Cronut or Cornui. You know, people just don't know how to say it. Knowing full well that Cron means chronological clock, and then Nui is night. So it's for us to take at night. And I just want to share something quick about this, because I know it's going to say it here that it assists with weight loss. And I know that has nothing to do with COVID, but, you know, everybody always want to lose weight, but it kind of does have something to do with COVID, because if you're overweight, you have problems.
Yep.
So my massage therapist came today to give me my therapy, and I lay on the table and she's like, girl, you've shed weight again. You've lost weight again. Guys, y'all have to understand. For those that don't know, I'm not able to walk. So I can't go and run around the house or jog or go jog the beach like how I used to, or walk the beach like how I used to. I can't do none of that. I go to the gym and I do my arms. That's basically all I can work with right now. I can work my arms. So, you know, so she felt my arms today and she's like, geez, you toning up, these muscles getting strong, Lord. Guys, this system works. Why I say that is because, yes, my diet is clean, but not the cleanest. I wish I didn't eat not a lick of meat, period, at all, period. I do eat some chicken. I do eat a little bit of turkey. And once in a blue moon, I want just one little piece of oxtail. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna sit here and tell y'all I is innocent. Okay. But other than that, every single day, I drink Cranui Fire. Every day. Sometimes 2 packs in the morning, 1 pack at night. And that's basically the main thing I've been doing. And she, you know, as she massages you, she actually shows you pictures before and after. And you can see the pounds just dropping off of me. When we went to Vegas last month, my daughter laughed at me. She had to get me ready that morning to get on the flight. And so the daughter that is my caregiver, she wasn't the one here. She'd already gone on the flight. My next daughter, who normally works, she works at the container parts, so normally she is done dealing with me. She's putting on my clothes and she laughing and she said, Mommy, who bought your clothes? I said, me. She said, Mommy, please don't do this to yourself anymore, please. I said, what do you mean? She said, these things, your pants are falling off of you. She says, I pray that when they transferring you from your wheelchair into the chair in the plane, that your clothes don't fall onto the ground. I was like, what? Guys, I was used to always getting 2X top, extra large bottom. My pants swinging on me. I've done nothing different. I'm eating the same food that I normally eat. A lot of vegetables, a lot of salads, sweet potato. That's my regular diet. Once in a blue moon, a small piece of like 1 wing. That would be me, but I don't like meat like that, and maybe some chicken breast, but I don't like meat. And literally, my daughter's laughing at me. So with that, I need you to understand that weight loss is a pre-existing condition. I mean, sorry, weight gain, having weight on you. So this Cranui Fire can assist with that just by drinking it. You know, it's known to lose about half a pound to some cases people lose 3 pounds in a day. And I know you're like, what? Yeah, I'm telling you. And you change your diet, it's on like Donkey Kong. So Nurse Natalie, take us away with Cranui Fire.
Sorry for that. Okay, Cranui, what it is?
Cranui.
No, so
Like
today I was dealing with people, right? And guess what? My tongue got tired of saying Cranui Fire because when they call, I want some of that Cranui, whatever it is, I want some of that in the blush. So the Cranui Fire is very important because, you know, sleep is a part of the immune system. What you eat, rest, sunlight, water are all part of keeping a healthy immune system. Some of you think you sleep, but you don't sleep. You had a shut eye. And that's another talk for another time. But there are 4 to 5 stages of sleep. Some scientists say 4, some scientists say 5. But whatever it is, that 3rd to 4th stage of sleep is very important. And some of us don't reach there. And in that stage is where the tissues and the organs of the body start to repair itself. That is why some of us are aging so quickly, and we're getting all of these diseases and putting on weight because we do not reach to the 3rd and 4th stage of sleep. And the thing about it is, with that 3rd and 4th stage of sleep, because sleep has, as I said, sometimes some scientists said 4, some scientists say 5 stages of sleep. And in those stages, you're supposed to repeat those stages up to 4 to 6 times at night. Yes, and I say at night. Our best sleep and our restorative sleep happens at night, not in the day. All right? We you know, and so persons who work night duty, when you are off and you have a chance to work, to sleep at night, please. The days that you're off, do not go out at night. Please take that time to get your night rest. Or if you can't, and you know you work full nights, you're somebody who is constantly on night duty, make sure you have dark out curtains in your room and that the light cannot come into your room, because That is the only way you will get to that third, fourth phase of sleep, and the body will start to restore itself and repair itself. That's why, we have young people getting ill at very young ages because, as I said, back in the day, when the streets light out, we done powder up to our neck, and guess what? They putting us in bed. You better be in your bed. But the kids, we go to bed and the kids in their room watching TV, on their laptop, their iPad, on their phone, and they're using the white light. And guess what? All of that is messing with the CSN clock, which is in the back of the eyes. And once it messes with that, it messes with the pineal gland, which actually produces melatonin and all of that melatonin hormone for the body. And so we're just putting our body out of whack. We're doing our body harm when we do not sleep, when we do not get the proper sleep that we need. When we don't get the proper sleep what we need, we can get cancer. We can get, oh yeah, we all got to be on the topic when we're talking about sleep, because that's for another time. You can get strokes, hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, all sorts of problems happen, kidney disease, all sorts of problems happen when you do not sleep. Oh my God. Anyway, so this Renew Fire is very important, especially in the time of COVID. Y'all get rest. Please don't be up all night, because guess what? If the body is tired and not rested and you get COVID, sad will be your cry. Please sleep. Please get your hours of sleep in. And this Renew Fire, also, there are three main issues right now with COVID. Persons who are diabetic, hypertensive, or overweight. And for those of you, let me break down diabetic, because some of y'all don't know what diabetic is. That means you have high blood sugar, or some of y'all say, I got sugar, or I have sugar, all right? And so diabetes, AKA sugar, or high blood sugar, and then hypertension. Some of you, what is hypertension? What you talking about? High blood pressure, AKA high blood pressure. And then obesity. Obesity means overweight. These three diseases can really be damaging if you were to contract COVID. But guess what? Renew Fire helps you to lose weight. It also is an anti-glucose formula, so it helps to decrease the amount of sugar in your blood. And it's also anti-hypertensive, where actually it helps to regularize or normalize your blood pressure. Okay? So, and the night when you're sleeping, it works hand in hand. It's burning fat, all of those bad calories and carbohydrates and fats that you ate during the day while you are sleeping. The Renew Fire actually burns it off. So, and at that time, it's also reducing your blood sugar and bringing down your pressure. And on top of that, it's also, the Renew Fire is also an anti-inflammatory agent, because COVID is an inflammatory disease. So here you have in a red box an anti-inflammatory product, and it's actually assisting you with the millage, with hypertension, diabetes, and obesity. I don't know what else to say. Back to you, Dr. Rutha.
Wow, thank you so much, Nurse Adeline. And so guys, this is not like our regular call. Our regular call is usually about an hour long. We did this for you guys because we feel the need, we see the need, we hear the need. It's getting crazy out there. And for those that are just joining us, we're just talking about the liquid immunity that we have and how important it is and how these products help. So Nurse Darley, before we go, because so many people have come on the call early, I Bahamian style early, eh?
Yeah,
Or
we
Caribbean
getting
style.
Chi-town tonight.
Caribbean style early. I just want you to just a snippet. And you can move quick about, no, don't turn it off, about how important the different steps are of the things that we need to do, you know, that like, you know, to make sure mask wearing and different stuff like that. And then
All
after
right,
that,
let me sit up.
go. And then, so before you say that, I want persons to understand liquid immunity. Liquid immunity simply means that the barrage is going to feed your mitochondria. The mitochondria is the energy of your cells. If your energy of your cells can maintain, your immune system can maintain, can build. Also, for those that didn't understand and know, the barrage holds all of the bacteria that is needed in our body and in our gut, the main ones, to thrive and survive. And you will hear more of that on a Tuesday night call that we have called whatmakesmehuman.com. Okay. And that we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. This is a special call. So you will hear that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We have a Sunday call, a Monday call with Sunday call with Dr. Denise, a Monday call with Nurse Adderley, a Tuesday call with King Clive Campbell, and a Wednesday call, which is a testimonial call where we just share all the testimonies that have come from utilizing these amazing products. But like I said, this is a special call tonight because we just hear the cry of the people dropping like flies, and it can be prevented. We have to understand this virus attacks your immune system. If your immune system is not in check and on point, something can happen. Diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity. That's just a few, to name a few out there. Heart disease, the barrage helps with that. These products help with your overall health. And if you're healthy, they assist in aiding you and making you superhuman. So Nurse Darley, very quick, share with everybody what they need to be doing, please.
Okay, first of all, now I'm gonna say some things in the beginning, but I need, if you do not have a pencil and a pen, I need you to get it right away. Right away, because I'm also gonna tell you what to do if you have a 911 with COVID, all right? So I'm gonna say some things, and I want you to listen and write and listen and write, okay? First of all, precautionary measures. Please, at all times, wear your mask. Sanitize your hands after touching surfaces, money, doors, other people. Sanitize your hands. When coming in your house, take off your shoes at the door. Have some house slippers at the door. Do not walk in your home, or do not allow persons to walk in your home with the shoes that they use from the outside. When you arrive at home from work or wherever, if you've been around crowds or whatever, or food store, wherever, change those clothes. Do not sit down in your furniture. Do not go in your bedroom and lay down in your bed with those same clothes on. Take those clothes, wash those clothes right away, okay? Please, but when you reach from the food store, get a little spray bottle. I don't know where I put my aerosol bottle. I was supposed to have that. Anyway, you know, in the beautician store, they have some the beauty supply store sell like aerosol bottles. You could take some hydrogen peroxide or alcohol, put it in these bottles, take your groceries, spread them all over the counter or over the dining room table, and just spray the aerosol, because it's harmless. The alcohol or the hydrogen peroxide, not Lysol, please. Spray it over your products, wipe them off, then put them away. You don't know who touched them before you did, before you purchased them at the food store. You don't know what the packing boy have. You don't know what the cashier who's pushing them through and have. You do not know. So protect yourself, protect your family, protect your homes. When you're out, arm's length, 6 feet apart. Do not go in person's homes if you do not have to. Do not. And don't allow persons to come, hey, Johnny, I come to hear you, what you're saying. To sit up in your house. You do not know. You do not know. If you have to entertain on the outside of your home, not on the inside of your home. If you have COVID symptoms and you live in a house with people, immediately quarantine yourself until you are tested. Please do not continue to be amongst the other persons in the house if you feel you have COVID symptoms. But if you have COVID symptoms, don't wait for it to get out of hand. Immediately go and get tested. Do not wait for you to start to cough or have shortness of breath. That's silly. As soon as you start to have any signs of COVID, that's fever, that's coughing, excessive coughing, all right? Tightness in the chest, shortness of breath, bad feelings in or pain in the limbs, or lightheadedness. Please, if you think you're having one or two of these symptoms, please go right ahead and get tested immediately. If you found out that you have COVID, quarantine, call your physician. Please do not go to a clinic or private doctor's office without that physician knowing that you're coming there for COVID. Call so that they can prepare and be ready for you. Keep your ambulance numbers on your refrigerator, on your stove, anywhere where you look, so that those are stored in your phone. If you need an ambulance right away and you can call, please do that. That's precautionary measures, preventative measures. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Water, 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 water. Try and drink alkaline water. Watch your diet. Eat, as King Clive said, eat more colorful foods and fruits and vegetables. Eat the rainbow. Please stay away from caffeine in this time. If you have been vaccinated, especially on the day of vaccination and the day after vaccination, especially keep away from caffeine. If you think you have COVID or have COVID symptoms, stay away from caffeine. It will make it worse, okay? So as caffeinated drinks, coffee, anything with caffeine, please run from it. And if you do not drink coffee or caffeinated drinks at this time, you're well on your way. Please stay away from caffeine. If you can, stay away from caffeinated drinks, especially while COVID is hot. Please, please do that. Another thing, get the Sankey system. We will talk about the Balage. I think that's probably, when can we talk about the Balage, the 3CL Pro, Dr. Ruth, and when can we do that call?
We can do that tomorrow. We can actually do that call tomorrow.
We will talk about the Balage and the efficacy against viruses tomorrow at 8 p.m. Be on it, but get Balage. Get Balage in your house now. Let me tell you something. Tell you my own experience with my children's father. My son, I have a son named Darius. Darius has an unknown myopathy. He had it from, he was 3. He's now 13. Doctors have not been able to diagnose my child. My child is he can get a cold or a flu extremely easily. That's why we have to be extremely careful with him, okay? And so he's a person, his muscles are weak. If he coughs, you have to help him cough. You have to help him blow his nose because he doesn't have the strength to do it. At least now he's gaining it because he's now on the Balage. So this child who can easily get any infection, the morning he slept in the bed with his father who woke up with COVID, extreme COVID symptoms the next morning, all right? Tested the child 3 days after, negative. My daughter, who was with her father every day, he drops her to her practices because she is very active every day in the car with him, no mask on, glass up, same air condition. She did not get COVID. All right. They tested all of us because they say we were actually in the same environment as he was. We were exposed, so they had to test all of us. all of us came out negative. I said, guess what? We ain't coming out negative because guess what? I take the Balage and I throw it down their throat. But now I'm not saying that it will prevent you from getting COVID. What I'm saying is, even if you get COVID, with having the Balage in your system, it will limit the amount of symptoms or how harsh you get hit with COVID. So I'm telling you, get on the Balage. Get it in your house. Get it in your house. Now, if you don't get any of our products, make sure you have the Balage. If you don't want the rest of it, make sure in this time you have Balage. Along with the Balage, make sure you have D3. I hope y'all are writing this down. Zinc, 50 milligrams. Vitamin C, 100 milligrams. And NAC. And acetylcysteine. Make sure that you have these products in your house. Dr. Ruthann, do you think I need to repeat those products again?
Yeah, just in case they have to write it down, because they might have forgotten what you said.
Balage. If you have COVID symptoms, to prevent getting hit hard with it, I would suggest that you have Balage in your house. All right. And my thing about it, some people say, well, nurse, I vaccinated, man. I good. Let me fix my clothes. We have persons who have gotten COVID, who have been either on this thing, that thing, the next thing, or who have been vaccinated. As I said before, if you have a house and you used to lock the door, but you say, guess what, man, these thieves always breaking in my house, and I lock my door. So guess what? You're gonna get burglar alarm, you're gonna get burglar bars, all these things. But even if you get an alarm, what you're gonna do? You're still gonna lock that door. You're not gonna say, oh, because I have an alarm system, I'm not gonna lock my door. And then when you get that alarm system, you're not just gonna put an alarm system in the house to make some noise. You're gonna have that alarm system attached to a security company. That security company have a password that they would ask you for if they hear your alarm go off. That security center is attached to the police station. When the police come, the police is coming in a patrol car with a siren. And when that siren comes in the front of your house, it comes with lights. When they come with the car, not one officer come, more than one officer will come on the scene. When the officer comes on the scene, the officer will come bearing arms. When they come bearing arms, they also have handcuffs. And if they believe the situation looks worse, they actually send for backup. So why is it that we decide with our bodies that once we have a vaccination or we taking this or we taking that, we fine? No. So why aren't we putting all these measures in place for our bodies? Why? Not because you take the vaccine mean that you're safe. You're not eating right. Some persons take the vaccine and guess what? Their immunity is their immune system is awful. So they're still getting it. So why don't we take steps, precautionary measures? Precautionary measures. Take your vitamin C. Do not, guys, please do not take zinc every day. Please don't take zinc every day. Only if you get COVID, take zinc every day. You will do your body damage in taking zinc. Zinc is not to be, it's a mineral not to be taken every day. If you take it, it's supposed to be the pure zinc, and the only way you could get pure zinc is from the natural resources. And so here at Sankey, we have the inner 7, which has zinc. It comes from natural resources. It comes from the water, the natural water. So that's good. But the zinc that comes off the shelf in a bottle, in a capsule, that's not supposed to be taken every day. You can do your body damage. Okay? So I just wanted to say that. But get sunlight. As much sunlight as you possibly can. Please get sunlight. Take your vitamin C. Please hydrate on water. Please take your Balage, even if you take it once a day. Take it. Stay away from caffeine. If you get COVID, please start immediately on your D3s, your zinc, 50 milligrams, your your D3, your zinc, your vitamin C, and your NAC. NAC and acetylcysteine. Okay, and that's 600 milligrams for that. And drink your Balage. And quarantine yourself and drink lots of water. That's an immediate regime as soon as you find out that you have COVID. So back to you, Dr. Ruza.
Wow. So listen, y'all heard what she had to say. So we'll be back here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on this link, liquidimmunity.net. So invite your friends. And no, we're not going to be on for 2 hours. We just wanted to share this information, very powerful information, guys, that we had to share with you. And so NAC, you can get it, Donnelly, where you can get the NAC from Amazon, or I don't know where in NASA y'all can get it.
Walmart doesn't have it. Amazon has it sometimes, but if you go online, the Vitamin Shop, and GNC, they have it online, okay. So you can order it online. If you're here in the Bahamas, I know probably Joy can say where they can get it, where she's at, but I know in the Bahamas, Friendly Pharmacy has it, Lowe's Pharmacy has it, and Prescription Parlor Pharmacy has it here in the Bahamas.
Okay, and D. Adley says it's $80 at GNC. So that's information, guys, for you to have. So, and Gwenny says, is the NAC only taken when you have COVID, or is it before? Is this preventative?
Some people take it before, but I say you take it when you have COVID.
Okay, thank you so much. And like we always say, drink your Balage. Make sure your Balage is in your system constantly, not sometimey, constantly, so that it's circulating, because everything washes out your system, guys. If something is natural, guess what? It passes through every single day. It doesn't, we got to remember this, guys. Okay, we got to remember this. So with that being said, I'm going to pass this call over to Clive to close out, as he always does in grand fashion and style. So tomorrow night, 8 p.m., you can join us here again, liquidimmunity.net. We will be here 8 p.m., the microbiome panelists, and we'll be sharing more information again about liquid immunity and how it helps. So back to you, King Clive.
Hey, thank you so much, Queen Dr. Ruth Ann. And just by the way of sharing with persons from now, next week, Thursday night at 10 o'clock, you see the time of night we're going to have it? Is at 10 Jamaica time, Dr. Ruth Ann?
No, it's 10, I think 10 Eastern, 9 Jamaican. So 10 Eastern, 9 Central.
So 9 Jamaica. Yes. This call is not for anybody under 21 years old. Mature audiences only. PG has to be enforced because the subject matter is big people. Anybody that is married, anybody open to get married, anybody in relationship, anybody that is of a mature age, anybody that has a bedroom situation that needs to be fixed, anybody that believe that they need to get some counseling and some serious matters of the bedroom, anybody who is a pastor, anybody who is a counselor, anybody that is a doctor, need to be on the call next week, Thursday night, because we'll be discussing things that pastors will be shy to talk about, and your doctors may even struggle to handle. This is big people stuff. So with that said, we just want 18, at least 18 years old, but to be on the safe side,
21 and over, girl. Girl, you ain't child. 21 and older. We don't want to be responsible.
Y'all doing the US thing. Okay.
21 and older.
Okay, 21 and over. All right. Sorry, folks. 21 and over.
Yes. All right. So with that said, we just want to give God thanks. Let us pray. So Father, we thank you for tonight. We thank you, Lord, for the grace and the strength you're going to offer now to people who are hurting and are mourning. Many persons have suffered the loss of individuals from COVID, from chronic degenerative diseases. Lord, we pray for our medical systems under pressure everywhere, every country in the world. Lord, help us. Help us, Lord, to be wise and to take our own health in our own hand, to take a better hand, a personal interest in our health, so that we might prevent and ward off would-be issues and viruses. Help us, Lord, and give us wisdom, because you told us that your people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Give us wisdom, Lord. Bless us, Lord. Bless our family represented here tonight. Have your own sweet way. Cause us to rest in you. Thank you for Sankey Global and all the major stakeholders of Sankey Global. Bless us, Lord. We ask these mercies in Jesus' name. Amen. So see you tomorrow night again, guys. We want to keep the fire burning. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, guys. Back again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Bring your guests, and just share. Liquidimmunity.net, liquidimmunity.net, and we are live on YouTube, so that will be sent out to the group. So if you missed it, you can go back and listen to the replay. Good night, my friends.